Dominaria Remastered is coming. We had the previous season just come and then go. It lasted all of 2 days. And Dominaria Remastered is a set that is a collection of cards that come from the Dominaria plane. It costs 27 sets, because Dominaria has been the main setting of Magic for a long time. And ultimately, the set looks gas. It looks like a really fun and interesting draft environment with all different mixtures of cards from different eras, like the Goblin archetype moves into the Storm archetype thanks to Empty the Warriors and things like that. It looks like a fun draft environment, and it is chock-a-block with cards that are almost of a double Masters level of quality. Force of Will is in there. Dark Depths is in there. Sylvan Library. Time Stretch, Alternate Art Urza Lord High Artificers. Cards that have been a reprint in a while, like Urza's Incubator, a $50 card. The set looks hot. It looks like absolute fire. Almost. Something I have noticed with the set is that there are cards that are absolute whiffs, making the variance of what you can open, $50 Commander Staple to 5-cent rare, extremely wide. And this isn't new to Magic, but considering the product is pseudo premium priced, it still bugs me. Let's talk about the need for shit rares in Magic the Gathering in today's video. This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com. Use the code KENOBI at checkout to help support the show, get 5% off your order, and pick up your lovely Christmas, or if you're watching this in the new year, non-Christmas Magic product. Back during M15, I opened 1 million copies of Aggressive Mining. It was a bad rare, in the sense that it was a cheap rare. No one wants to open these in their draft environments, nor to put into their trade binders. However, that isn't inherent to the card. Aggressive Mining is interesting. It has weird text on it. You can't play lands, but you can sacrifice a land to draw 2 cards each turn. And it's also designed by the creator of Minecraft, which is not great. That hasn't aged well. The point is, Aggressive Mining is still an interesting card that will see play somewhere. There'll be a fringe deck. Hell, it might get broken by a future set to make it powerful. This is how Lion's Eye Diamond worked, or even the original duels to an extent, where they weren't really worth much at the time, but over time they become powerful effects in the right circumstances, and in the case of Lion's Eye Diamond, an incredibly expensive rare. Aggressive Mining had a chance. It was a weird design that didn't quite work out, didn't find a home immediately, so it became a dud rare. And that's okay. In standard sets you have that. Some cards come out, they aren't quite powerful enough, they don't quite shake up in the metagame, and they don't end up having a price tag. Sometimes a card like Reap of the Wilds might pre-order for a couple of dollars, then it turns out it's just not good enough to compete with Pelucanos, and then Siege Rhino's printed the next set. And something with this much text on it and this many abilities just ends up not doing anything in its lifetime in Magic, and it fades into obscurity. What I'm getting at is that it's fine to have experimentation that leads to rares just not being good enough or not finding a home. That's fine. That's how I like to see dud rares in a booster. A card that one day might be good, or it might fit a fringe archetype like Gorgon Tribal in the case of Reaper of the Wilds, or it has some sort of application to someone somewhere. But then we come to the wonderful Dominaria Remastered that I'm very excited for, honestly. More excited than I thought I'd be. I think they've actually hit it out of the park the vast majority of the time. The art is phenomenal. This time stretch, oh, it's gorgeous. However, there is a Denizen of the Deep, there's a Shivan Dragon, and there's an Urza's Blueprint. Denizen of the Deep is arguably not what I'm talking about today. It's a 8 mana 11/11 setup in the bounce something back to hand. There is somewhere where this is going to be a fun card. As a kid, this was the biggest creature I knew about. For years, I would talk about Denizen of the Deep as being the biggest powered Magic card ever. That has something, that has merit. But fast forward to now, do we need Denizen of the Deep re-put in a premium price product to impress a small child, a small young Vincent? No, we don't. And then we have Shivan Dragon, which is a rare. Serra Angel and Senge Vampire are no longer rare, which were like the same cycle as it were, the finishes in each colour from the original alpha. Shivan Dragon is still a rare. Arguably, it's probably too good at uncommon in limited, but ultimately, does it need to be a rare in this set? Shivan Dragon's a weird one. It has the iconic element of being a card that everyone associates with early Magic and Dominaria, but rare in a premium priced product? In some ways I would forgive it more if it showed up in Dominaria and Dominaria United. Being in the remastered set where a booster box is $200 RRP, not literally because RRP doesn't exist anymore, but that's how much people are saying it is, and then knocking it down from there. A booster box that's more expensive than your standard boosters. Do we really need a 5-cent Shivan Dragon? And keep in mind that Shivan Dragon got a foil promo, the Anniversary History promo in Japan recently, and then we've also got it in the Anniversary Edition that just came out and flopped massively. It's not like Shivan Dragon is itching for a reprint, and there are other places where we can tip our hat and salute to the history of Shivan Dragon. But in amongst these rares, the real dud, The real one that just tickles my pickle is Urza's Blueprints. I actually loved this card as a kid, so I get the idea of coming to something and loving it for its flavour and its theme. As a child, it was 6 mana to play and a 6 mana echo, but every turn I got to draw a card? Wow. Behind my wall of big green creatures or Talos airships, this was reasonable, right? Well, no, the card fucking sucks. But the art depicts Urza creating the Weatherlight, the fucking sky ship that for me is iconic. It's one of the biggest and most clearest parts of Magic's old school iconic intellectual property. It's the fucking Weatherlight, baby. But the card is dog water. It's bath water. It's dog shit. It's cat piss. It's stale milk. It's like you've come home and your significant other just vomited into your mouth without consent. This 6 mana, 6 echo, draw a card every turn thing has no place beyond world building. Yes, Urza's Blueprints. Yes, he did use a paper piece of parchment to draw out the plans of the Weatherlight and a magnifying glass to look at it, because just in case he couldn't see closely enough. Yes, it's world building. Yes, it's got a cool thing on it. But no deck wants this. No commander deck is looking for 6 mana, 6 echo tribal. No one was clambering for this to be a reprint. Hell, it being in the list slot was a kind of embarrassing already. I do think the list slot, considering how it's like not every single set booster has a list slot card in it, I think that should be more often than not a better card than this. But I get the weirdness, the here's Urza's Blueprint from the past in the list slot, but putting it into a premium priced booster, no. I'm not saying that every single rare has to be this absolute powerhouse. There's a load of $5 rares in this set that will go down in price as the packs get opened up and they've been reprinted. So I understand that looking at prices right now or in one paused window in time is not obviously an indication of where things are at. But Urza's Blueprint does very minimal in this set. It does remind me of a time when I was a child, when I was playing Portal and the Urza sets on concrete with no sleeves in. There is an element of nostalgia there. But that could have been at Uncommon. That could have been in a Precon. That could have been in a separate slot where we put flavour rares that aren't worth anything, for example. Instead, it's in the slot where I'm trying to open, I don't know, a $50 rare in my £6, £7, £8 booster. I think there's room for dud rares in standard sets. Like I said, the examples of aggressive mining and Reaper of the Wilds, cards that don't find a home but they slot into a very small corner of existence, or they build out the world in some way and are a bit too powerful for limited, I get it. But I don't think that Urza's Blueprint fulfills any of those things. It does a small amount of world building, but not enough to justify itself being a dud rare in the set. It is simply there to waste a pack for you, to lower the value being offered, to make sure that you do that gamble. There is an argument that gambling with opening a pack of boosters, the feeling is heightened when there is low lows and high highs. I guess if everything was $5, then it would reduce the buzz of potentially whiffing or potentially hitting high. But again, when it comes to premium price boosters, I don't think you should be opening a 16-cent rare that no one wants to play anywhere. There's an argument that Shivan Dragon's too powerful and limited at Uncommon, but I would argue it shouldn't be in the set anyway. And Urza's Blueprints, this could be an Uncommon. This shouldn't take away your opportunity to open a full art Test of Endurance or Nut Collector. I mean, that's only $8, but Nut Collector's pretty cool. Sarah's Avenger is a 7 mana mythic that is just pennies because of its reprint across multiple commander sets, but I kind of get it because it is a mythic card in what it does. This is the kind of card that one day could also be worth more money with less reprints and as it becomes powerful with new synergies. This is one of those cards, like I said, where it probably hasn't found its right home. And well, at 7 mana it probably never will do. But do you see what I mean? Blueprint will never do that. It actually pains me to shit on Blueprint so much because as a kid I thought it was the coolest. But that was young Vince. That was pre-internet Vince. I'm now jaded. I now want Schrodinger's EV, where I want cards to be cheap but every pack to be full of value. That's right, I'm a Magic player. But I do think when it comes to premium price product, they don't have to put in absolute duds on purpose. We can have cards that at least improve the limited environment, right? That was today's rant. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. And I mean it. There's a large portion who just don't subscribe for some reason. Like 60% of my audience isn't subscribed. Please subscribe. It helps make my e-penis bigger. I'll see you on the next one. Ta-ta for now.